Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just here doing a quick update video on Microsoft's bookings product. You may have seen the other video that I shared just reviewing what the Microsoft bookings offering has. Great little tool that's baked into the Microsoft Business Premium and other Microsoft 365 licensing. It gives you the ability to schedule and also see other folks' schedule availability for teams that you can share out and easily book meetings. Well, Microsoft, I think, has been in competition with another bookings service solution out there. There's actually a couple of them out there, but one of the leaders in the space has the word Callan something in it. Those guys have been doing a lot for a long time, and we've actually had an internal battle on what products we use and why here. Honestly, to date, in terms of the individual bookings experience, I could say that bookings left some things that, were kind of rough around the edges for the end user experience. And so I think Microsoft realized that. They've made an investment, and now they've launched a new version of bookings they're calling Bookings with Me. And that's what I'm here to show you quickly and give you a quick review on it and how to use it and get started with it. So let's jump in. Here we go. So first and foremost, of course, you need to make sure that you have a license that includes the service. We do have here, from the home, you can see the old traditional bookings link is still here. When you go there, you're presented with this page. I've already reviewed this for you guys, and you've seen it in the last video. But for anybody who might have missed it, I'll just show you briefly kind of what that looks like. So after you've gone ahead and built a service out, you can see there's consult, hour and a half, and then 2 hours. And then you can just kind of select that staff, right? And so this tool, when it was first built, was really meant to share multiple people's availability, maybe say a team of sales folks or a team of engineers that you want to make available to the outside world. And you can see there, click on the person, and then you go ahead and you can see their availability, right? And so in addition to that, you can change them. Now, the one thing this tool, the old tool, Microsoft Bookings, really doesn't do, and maybe I'm not sure when it will, is combine people's availability. That's something for the future. But this is what the old product, looks like and how it's built, and you can access it right inside of that URL, their office, outlook.office.com/bookings/bookings page, and then go ahead and do that. We're here to talk today about the new product, and that product is called Bookings with Me. And so you can see this is brand new in preview. This is similar to what the users would see after things are set up. You can see it's got a nice little page there with a picture, a background, and then some easy buttons to create different meeting types that are public and private. Looks pretty similar. It has some styling things that look a little bit different to the eyes, but overall, it's a pretty good view. So if you dive in a little bit more, we can unpack kind of how it works and why it's better or worse than the existing product, as well as other things out on the marketplace. So I'll just go ahead and switch over here to the Bookings with Me kind of welcome screen. And you can see for the first time when you go to set it up, it does kind of walk you through it with this guide. It shows here, I haven't set up anything on this account. It's just a fresh, clean account. And so I'll go ahead and just start by going through and create a public and a private meeting. So here's a public session. And you can see you can categorize it, right? It has all the various categories, blue, green. And these are categories that fall into the back end of your schedule in terms of your Outlook experience. And so those things are waiting for you in the back end of Outlook. You can categorize them. You can actually just change those labels, and they will go back to Outlook on the web. So in addition to that, of course, you can add a description, a location, whether or not it's a specific amount of time or a custom amount of time. A lot of folks are starting to add margin in their meetings for breaks. And so, maybe we're going to call this a 55-minute meeting, or a 25-minute meeting. So you have 5 extra minutes there. So then you can see here, you have these options of public, which would go on the booking page itself. That's this landing page. Or you can say private. And if you say private, it has no shared links for external users. It's really only going to be visible from a private link standpoint. And so in addition to that, you'll notice there's some schedule customization here. You have the ability to use your regular meeting hours or custom availability. Maybe let's say you only want to schedule these kinds of meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays rather than share your whole calendar availability. So you can customize that as needed. It's very simple. Go ahead and say I'm not bookable on Sunday or Saturday, and then fill in the gaps of maybe where you might want to be bookable, and say I'm just going to do these things on Thursdays, and we'll make them kind of an afternoon bound thing between 4 and 12 and 4 there. So that's kind of the schedule piece. The one other thing to point out is use my regular availability in terms of your meeting hours. A lot of folks don't really know that this exists, so I will take a moment to cover where this lives in Outlook. When you click that, it does go to the back end where the Exchange server keeps the properties of what your calendar availability is. And so this is specific to your time zone, but you can actually set what meeting hours are, and this sends signals to different places in Microsoft that can see your calendar about your workday end and start, those kinds of things. So that's what your meeting hours for availability look like, and that is also used in other areas for sure. And then lastly, down here under advanced options, you do have some other things that you can do. You create some buffer time right before or after the meeting. And so, this 5 minutes of buffer after would occur right after the meeting. And that's always great in case people try to take, time on your schedule. And then this other one from a lead time perspective, I always like to protect my calendar in terms of a few days out. And so I'll pretty much leave my calendar, say, hey, don't allow folks to book more than 2 days out. And then, of course, you want to limit how far out you want them to be able to book. And so that's what it looks like to create it. Very simple, very easy. You can hit save, and then you can see, we're getting it set up in the back end. This is a public, I had said it's a public session, but I labeled it that way, but it's actually set as a private session based on what we had clicked. Now you can see, I intentionally did that here so that way you could see how easy it is to change it. And so we can just go ahead and easily change it to a public session, and then you can also put it back down and make it private. I'm going to go ahead over to already my bookings actual calendar, where I've already created some things because they're set up. And so you can see here, we have a few different types of meetings I've had set up. Up at the top, you'll have a share link where you can copy this link and it'll land someone right on your actual, page. Now, if it's somebody who doesn't have a Microsoft account, they'll be presented with this screen, or they're not logged into it. And so the first question I ask them is, do you want to sign in with an account you have, or do you want to continue as a guest? Of course, I'm going to just go ahead and say continue as a guest so you can see the experience. Now here you can see my meeting page contains the 3 public meetings I had said make available, and then it does default to the first meeting, but that one private meeting type doesn't actually show or exist. And so from there, it's a pretty simple kind of thing. You pick the time, you go next, and you fill in this detail, and then you go ahead and say email verification code. You get an email, and then you go ahead and that books it, similar to what you've seen before. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move this over and just point out here, there's that private link, right? We talked about that. And the private link can be shared. It can be copied. It can also be converted into a single use link. And so that link that you would copy, let's say to the clipboard, you could go and you could say only use it once. So if we come over here and we did actually go ahead and paste in, I'll say, hey, I'm going to continue as a guest. You can see there's a check-in call. It's a one-time 30-minute link. I'll go ahead and select that. I'll take that time of 4 o'clock. I'll say next, Adam, I'm actually going to use Apple, which is another one of my aliases here. And I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll say email verification code. Now you can see right away we're presented with this verification code, which is great. Of course, you don't want to be spammed, right? You don't want to go ahead and have all kinds of, things sent and shared, just getting all that extra stuff. So inside of my email now, of course, I have this verification code. And so I'll take this, I'll scrape it, and I will put it back here in the link, right? And then schedule. And when I do that, of course, it's going to go ahead and book that meeting. I'll also receive a calendar invite, and then it'll show up on my calendar, as well as, go ahead and send the calendar invite to Apple at kitetechgroup.com, which is who's booking this meeting, right? So that's great. From there, you'll get a link. You can, reschedule the meeting, cancel the meeting, create a new meeting, those kinds of things. And then that one-time link code is now gone, right? And so we can't use that again, which is awesome. So I want to show you a little bit more about the experience that kind of makes this better than it was before. And so one of the things that really the other bookings product did was it booked things on behalf of you. And so rather than it actually booking a meeting with my name on it, it would actually book a meeting and actually hold it in a different calendar. And so when you receive an email, you're going to receive an email that says you're invited on behalf of the bookings calendar rather than on behalf of Adam. Myself. And so you'll notice here, we do have the ability to kind of go in and make changes on the fly with these appointments, and they'll just go ahead and show right up. So I'm going to move over here to this date of November 18th there, right? And here's the 18th. And I do see that this 4 o'clock check-in call meeting does show as scheduled. Here it is. And you can see here's the meeting. Now there's somebody else named Adam. Of course, that's me. But you can go ahead and you can actually edit this event. And in real time, let's just say I wanted this to be 5 o'clock and extend it out to an hour. And I'll go ahead and hit save and send. Now that actual meeting will send an email over to myself, which, of course, I'll go ahead and show you that email. We are using, my own demo account. So it does look a little weird, but it shows you the original appointment that was scheduled over here. And now it shows you the change. And it does actually appear to come from me rather than some booking calendar. So that just makes the whole process of scheduling and booking much, much easier. Very similar to another product with the word calendar something in it on out there in the wild. And so one other thing that I really love about the experience, if you actually do log in to book a meeting as someone who has a Microsoft account, it can actually see your availability against what's available for whom you're booking with. And so you can see here as a guest user without a Microsoft account, I can't really see if this conflicts with another appointment I have. But if we go over to the experience and look to book a meeting as someone who's logged in with a Microsoft account, you do see some visual feedback that's a little bit different. And so you can see here, if I kind of click on these different ones, I see these little green indicators. I'll go back to this tenant review, and it looks like here I'm busy. So I already have a weekly update call, and that means I'm not going to be able to be on, be booking this time, or maybe I can choose to do that. So that little bit of visual feedback is great because it gives you a view of your own schedule in line with what's being booked. So that's a quick wrap on bookings and just kind of the overall product that Microsoft has gone and updated. That's Bookings with Me. And it's a great product. It's not a one size fits all, but it's great for individual booking. And I feel like it's a great product that's already baked in that you don't have to pay extra for. So I hope this information was valuable to you guys. If there's some other way we can help out, inside the Microsoft 365 space, or you need help with other areas of your IT, Epic Consulting, we also do that, of course, for our independent insurance agencies out there, and anyone else for that matter. Thanks for joining me here today, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care.